going on, everybody? Down here on my family vacation in Fort Morgan, Alabama. And I told you guys here a few weeks ago that I'm going to start doing a monthly devotional on the channel. And I didn't think, there'd be any better place on earth to do one than right here on the sandy beaches and the beautiful water of the Gulf behind me. There's a storm actually forming out here about 200 miles off the coast that could become a tropical storm, an actual named tropical storm here in the coming days. And a lot of people in the area are starting to get nervous about it. We're starting to get nervous about it. Just we don't know exactly what it's going to do or where it's going to head and stuff like that. And just reminds me of a story in the Bible, and I'll read to you guys. And for some of you, you'll be watching this on Facebook and Instagram, and almost immediately after I do this. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll actually be a little bit delayed in part of my upcoming saltwater YouTube series I'm doing on the YouTube channel. But anyway, let's get into the story. So Jesus calms a storm. That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let's go over there to the other side." Leaving the storm behind, they took him along, just as he was, in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat, so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." And I really got to thinking, storms of life can be physical, spiritual, or even mental. And no matter what storm you're going through in life, God is the one who can calm that storm. And sometimes there's also a reality to this. Sometimes he puts storms in our lives to help us grow spiritually as a Christian or just even as a person in general. There's sometimes that false idea that once you become a Christian, nothing bad will ever happen to you whenever you face storms. And that can't be farther from the truth. And sometimes maybe those storms even occur more frequently just because he is trying to grow us as Christians and spiritually. And we can have that hope and faith that no matter what that storm is, that he is going to help us through that. And there's a poem called Footprints in the Sand. I can't read it because it's copyrighted, but if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, I'll drop it below in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll either put it in the description or in the comments. But I highly encourage going and reading that poem, because it's a very wonderful poem that goes exactly, along with exactly what I'm saying and stuff like that. So just a quick little, devotional for you guys, something I want to do once a month. Definitely appreciate you guys watching it. But before we go, just something I really want to remind you guys. You guys accept him into your heart and, have that personal relationship with him and become a Christian if you're not already. You can have that guarantee that he's going to be with you all the time. He's going to help you through those highs and the lows and the ups and the downs. And, you accept the Holy Spirit into you, and the Holy Spirit's that guiding force that we have in life. And it'll be with you every step of the way and every journey, no matter what you go through. So thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. And I guess see you next month when we do the next devotion.